Okay, so this is further to the VM virtual machine build class actually. So in the virtual machine build class, you've also seen the last slide, which is the activity related to the virtual machines, correct? Now, so there I told you these are all the 60 to 70% of the activities that you get in your day-to-day business operations. Okay, business as usual operations. So the first one is VM start and stop. Whenever you want to stop a virtual machine, maybe after the business hour to save some cost, run cost, you will stop the virtual machine, and every day morning before the business starts, we will power on the virtual machine. So these two are called as start and stop activity, and the same start and stop we will also call it as snoozing. Snoozing means we will stop the virtual machines, or we will deallocate the virtual machine during the off business hours. Means automatically the virtual machine will be getting shut down maybe after the business hour, the time you will define. You have to tell to the script or to the workbook, okay, you please shut down this server ABC maybe after 7:30 in the evening after the business hours. Okay, so to save the cost, and you please power on the computer or the virtual machine every day morning at 8:30, because my business starts at 9 o'clock and I need 30 minutes to do the health check of the applications. So that is called as start and stop and snoozing. Okay, so both are same only. Start and stop and snoozing both are same. Two different terminologies. That's all. And then the third one is the VM performance check. Say for example, if you want to check the performance of your computer, the application team will tell, I don't know what is happening every day. Maybe afternoon 1:30 or 1 o'clock, I am facing the slowness. Okay, and that slowness will be there for at least 1.5 hour. After 1.5 hour, the application will behave normal. So you want to pull out the data of the performance of that particular virtual machine. So what you have to do, you have to go to the virtual machine performance blade, and there you will see the data for 90 days. You can just download the data for 90 days and see is there any pattern, like every day the computer is getting snoozed automatically, or every day the performance is getting impacted at the same time. Is there any pattern? Okay, then if you once you find out the pattern, okay, you will know, okay, every day 1:30 the spike is happening, the performance of the server, both CPU and memory, is hitting more than 95% or 98%. So then obviously the performance of the application will be very low. Okay, then you have to log into the server and check what exactly the causing, what exactly the cause factor, why it is going very slow. Okay, you need to understand, is there any application related services consuming more memory and CPU, or is there any operating system file is consuming more CPU and memory, or maybe any other backup activity, or maybe any antivirus related activities performing at that time. Imagine sometimes what happens, the backup or the antivirus scanning will be scheduled at the business hours, and that is actually unknowingly, maybe my manual mistakes, you will be scheduled to happen at the business hours. So then you will know, okay, there's a backup is going on, and the backup supposed to be happen every day night 1:30, but it is happening in the afternoon 1:30. So you just have to alter the backup schedule, not to run daytime, and it should run in the night time. So that is the cause. So this is what the VM performance sequence means. You have to analyze which service or the process is consuming more CPU and memory. So it will tell you, you just have to go to the performance blade and pull the performance metrics information there, and you got the pattern. And if you once you get the pattern, you will log into the server. Once you log into the server, you will go to the task manager, and there you go to the processes and see which is the performance, which is the service or the process consuming more CPU and memory. That is called as the analysis you have to do there. Okay, and then the fourth one is imaging. Last week I was telling you, imaging means you will take the image of the virtual machine. Means you build a virtual machine called VM01, and you have installed the operating system in it. You have installed the agents like Splunk agent to monitor, the backup agent to take the backup, and the vulnerability agent, the Qualys agents to do the Qualys, the vulnerabilities available in it. So all the required things you have done, you have changed the time zone, you have renamed the computer properly, you have properly did the disk, the partitions as well, correct? So you are doing all these things, And what you want to do, you want to use this as a golden image. Say for example that VM01 which you built now, you don't want to repeat this activity every day when you build a new virtual machine. So if you take the image directly from the marketplace or the market store, what happens, you have to do all these activities again and again. So to reduce your human effort or manual effort, what do, you will build a virtual machine, you will rename it to the right naming standard, and you will keep the disk uh, partitions intact, you will install all the agents, you will set the time zone properly, everything you'll keep it, and that is ready to be moved for the production. So after that, what you will take the image out of that virtual machine, that VM01, and you will store it in the marketplace. So next time when you are building a new virtual machine, you don't have to choose the image from the marketplace, you just have to choose the image which you just created using VM01. So once you use that image, you don't need to work on all this activity, you don't need to install agents, you don't need to work on partitions, you don't need to work on any other the post build activities or the hardening activities. Okay, that is called as VM imaging. Why we take it? To maintain uniformity in all the servers, to reduce human efforts, to create golden images. This VM image concept will also called as golden images. Golden images means that image will be up to date, it will have all your post build activities involved in it. I mean, everything is done and dusted there, everything is already there, you don't need to work on again all the hardening activities. Okay, and then the VM upscale and downscale, you already know, increasing and decreasing the size, and adding or removing the disk, or increasing or decreasing the disk size. And then the snapshot, this is, see, this VM imaging and snapshots are very very important actually. When you create a VM image, the virtual machine which is VM01 in our case will be getting deleted once the image is created. Why you need image? If you want to take the entire computer, okay, entire computer means that computer has got C drive, D drive, E drive, data, application, everything is there in that VM image. But the disk snapshot is different. Snapshot is also image, but that is only for the disk. If you want to take the backup of only the C drive, you can just go to the C drive and take the snapshot. If you want to go to D drive or E drive, just go to that particular disk, right click on the disk and say snapshot. That's all. So the imaging, the snapshot and the backup both does the same thing, but different context. Imaging is to make sure you have a golden image, not to repeat all the activities, correct na? But this snapshot is a quicker option to take the backup when you don't have time. See, backup will take minimum 1.5 hours to 2 hours. If you trigger a backup for a particular virtual machine, no matter whether the virtual machine is 100 GB or 200 GB, it is really needed minimum 1.5 hours. You cannot wait for that 1.5 hours. Sometimes you will get the downtime for only 2 hours. Say for example, you want to do some activity, some downtime is there, 2 hours is the downtime. Business has given only 2 hours of downtime. Means within this 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you can just do the activity. Then to do the change activity, if you trigger the backup will itself take 1.5 hours. Not sure how much it will take, at least 1.5 hours. Within 30 minutes, remaining 30 minutes, you cannot do the activity. So what do you do that scenarios? You have to secure the operating system and the applications firstly. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to trigger the backup, trigger the snapshot. So because the snapshot will happen within 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, your snapshot will be created. If you have 10 virtual machines or 10 disks in the same machine, you can just parallelly go to the each disk and take the snapshot. Everything, all the 10 disks will be taken within less than 2 minutes. So you are saving a lot of time there. Okay. For the quicker backup scenarios, you will use the disk snapshots. For the actual backup, what you have to do, you have to go with the backup options only. Okay. And then the activity log, you already know. If you want to see the activities related to that particular virtual machine, when the virtual machine got built, okay, who built the virtual machine, who restarted the virtual machine, and who logged into the virtual machine, is there any change happened to the virtual machine, who did, when it was done, what is the date, all the information will be tracked. Means all the activities, all the events at the portal level will be logged inside the activity logs. Okay. And then the resource health. See, this resource health is very very important. Okay. So in this resource health, you will understand what exactly the status of the computer as of now. Sometimes what happens, in the portal, if you go to the overview blade, so there you see the status as up and running, but you are unable to take, you are unable to RDP the server, and you are unable to ping the server. Sometimes the pinging will be happening, but you will not be able to log in, the application will not be launched. So what you have to do, you have to go to this resource health check blade in the same virtual machine. In the virtual machine, down last fourth option or fifth option will be there, the resource health check option. You have to go there, and you have to understand, Microsoft will tell you, okay, what exactly the problem and the status. If the status of the virtual machine healthy, you will not have any logs there. If the status of the virtual machine is unhealthy, they will tell. So there is some operations happened at the data center level, and you need to switch, you need to move this virtual machine, you need to move this virtual machine, or you have to redeploy this virtual machine to another hardware. Okay, so they will tell, or they will give these kind of suggestions there in the resource health check blade. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, so this is called as health check. So now let us understand what is virtual machine image. Okay, why this image required, I already repeated actually. While doing any changes to the application, say for example you want to do the patching activity. Okay, so everyday morning, I mean, say whenever you build a virtual machine, you have to do the patching activity, you have to scan for the vulnerabilities. Okay, and you may need to upgrade the applications. Okay, that time, if you want to safeguard the entire virtual machine as it is status, you can go for the image option. But earlier it was giving an option to take the image by retaining the virtual machine, but now what they have done, they have removed this retaining the virtual machine. Okay, means when you are taking the virtual machine backup or image, when you are taking, okay, the actual virtual machine will be getting deleted. You try today, I'll show you. You build a virtual machine VM01, go to the image option and try to create a virtual machine. Okay, so it will not, means when you just go to the virtual machine blade, when you click on the image option, it will ask you where to store the image, which resource group you want to store, which region you want to store, all those information it will ask. Once you ask, when you say create virtual machine, virtual image or image, and it will tell you the image creation will delete the actual source virtual machine. Do you want to continue? If you say yes, the VM01 which is already there in the portal will get deleted, and instead of that you will see a new image gets created, and later you can create an image using that image. It is faster also. Okay, but I'll tell you one more thing, this is very important. In any of the cloud, okay, any of the public cloud, specifically like Azure, AWS or Google, we don't have any recycle bin option. Means like in the computer, if you delete something, you can recover it, maybe in the deleted objects or maybe in the recycle bin, or even sometimes we can use some recovery softwares and take the data backup. But in the cloud, you don't have any undo option, or you don't have any recycle bin option. You cannot restore a deleted machines or deleted resource back to your subscription. So you have to be very, very careful. If you delete something, you will not be able to retrieve at all. If you have the backup, from the backup you can take it, but that will take some time, because the restoration will take double the time. Say for example, if you are taking a backup of a virtual machine and that is taking 1 hour to take the backup, the restoration will take 2 hours, double the time of the backup time. Okay, so that is why this image, I mean, you should have this basics in your understanding, because basics are very, very important. Okay, so the image, now you know image means if you want to take the as it is status of the computer, you can go with the image option. But I'm telling you, when you take the image, the VM will be getting deleted. Okay, earlier you had an option to retain the virtual machine and take the backup, but now it is not there. So image means if you want to create a golden image to safeguard your application, or to safeguard your image intacted, okay, that time you can just go with the image option. How to take the image? You have to go to the Azure portal, go to virtual machine, and you want to select, you have to select the virtual machine which you want to take the image, and on the top bar you will see the option called image. You have to click on the image option, then you have to follow the wizard. You have to select the resource group, all those information, and you have to give the name, and you have to put it, apply, okay, so it will get created. And if you want to see that image, you can go to the image option, and there you will see all the images created. That is about the image, virtual machine image. Okay, so the snapshot, you already know, snapshot means snapshot will be taken for the VM disk, not for the entire virtual machine. I told you image and backup is for the entire virtual machine, correct? You can restore however you want. Say for example, if you have taken a virtual machine backup, you can even restore 1 or 2 files inside that data D drive, E drive. But snapshot is not like that. You have to take the backup for the only the disk, and you cannot restore some files in the disk. You have to restore the entire disk. Say for example, you have a virtual machine, in the C drive you have some application, and you want to do some application upgrade, maybe Java 7.6 to 7.8 you are upgrading. Okay, so to safeguard your application, the Java 7.6 application, to safeguard in case of any disaster, or in case of any breakdown of the application due to the upgrade of the version, before you do the activity, you will take the snapshot of the operating system disk, the C drive, and then you will upgrade the Java version, and you will check the application functionalities, okay, whether the application is working as expected or as it was working previously. And if you get a confirmation, yes, it is working fine, you can delete the snapshot. The snapshot, there is an option to auto delete also, that is secondary. Sometimes what happens, if the things are not working as expected after the Java 7.8 upgrade, most of the application things are not working, and maybe the graphics is not working, and it is taking a lot of time, okay, it is not allowing you to log in. There are various issues the user will faces. If that is the case, you will communicate the same to the business stakeholders. The business stakeholders will tell you, okay, please roll back the change. What is the rollback, the change, the rollback option you have? It is very simple. You have taken the snapshot of the disk. You will go to the snapshot, create a new disk from the snapshot which you have taken, and go to the virtual machine and swap the disk. Once you swap the disk with the old and the new disk will be now in the virtual machine. When you restart the computer will build with the new disk which got created with the old disk, correct na? And the application is there. Means you have taken the snapshot before the upgrade 7.6, and you are creating the image from the snapshot, and the application which is there in the snapshot is 7.6 only, and now you are swapping the disk with 7.8 to 7.6. You switch on the computer, your application will be up and running. So why we need it? First, for the faster backup and restore. I was telling you now, you have a downtime for 2 hours. Only 2 hours is the time you have. But the activity itself will take 1.5 hours. Then you need at least 4 hours of downtime. To reduce the time here for the faster backup, you can go to the snapshot option and take the backup. Okay, and it is very cheaper also. See, in the cloud, it is the charges, the pricing is there for the backup, the pricing is there for the egress and ingress. Means egress means anything that you write inside, that is ingress. Egress means anything that you read out, that is called as egress. Egress means you are writing, you are reading out, when you are writing something, say for example, you are copying something from your desktop to the virtual machine which is there in the cloud, that is called as ingress. And you have something in your virtual machine which is there in the cloud, and from there you are copying it to your desktop, which is your laptop, okay, which is in front of you, that is called as egress. That is egress means you are copying out from the data center, Microsoft data center. If you are writing something to the Microsoft data center, that is called ingress. So the cost is for that actually. In the cloud, the charge is for that only, in the backup, not for the storage. Storage is also there, but very less. But the most factored or considerable thing is the egress and ingress charge. So that when you take the snapshot, you don't have to pay for that egress and ingress, because you are just taking a snapshot inside the Microsoft data center and you are keeping it there only, inside the data center only, correct na? So you don't have to pay for additional. It is very minimal price will be there for a backup, which is taken with the snapshot. Okay, that is why people will go with the snapshot. The snapshot will be there to take the quicker backup and quicker restoration, and also for the cheaper backup option. Okay, only the delimitation with the snapshot is you cannot restore one particular file. You have to restore the entire the disk. That is a thing actually. How to create a snapshot? You have to go to virtual machine blade, okay, and then go to the disk options, and then they have an option called snapshot. Click on the snapshot and continue the wizard. Okay, and restoration also same. How to create a disk? I'll show you maybe today. Okay, and the third option is create a virtual machine from an existing image. I told you can take the image to safeguard the application or to safeguard the entire computer, correct? Na? To reuse it, to save time and to avoid all the manual installation of the agents, blah blah blah, right? How to do that? You have to go to the virtual machine, okay? Go to the this image option, select the image which you have recently created, and create a virtual machine. Or what you can go to the virtual machine. Two things are there. One is you can go to the virtual machine, create a new virtual machine, and while selecting the image you have to select the image which you created recently. Okay, there are multiple options. I'll show you all the things. Okay, so that is about the virtual machine related activities. If somebody asks you what are what do you know about cloud, you can tell these things. I'm very familiar with the VM start and stop activity. I know about VM snoozing. I know about VM performance check, and we are also doing VM images. And I also do upscale and downscale of the virtual machine as and when required. And also we will also work on the disk. Adding a new disk, or increasing or decreasing the disk size of the virtual machine. I'll also take the disk snapshot, activity logs, resources. See, in the virtual machine itself, you have about 8 to 10 points here. So during the interview, you have to tell this only. If you just simply tell, I know virtual machine build, I know only load balancer, only 2 points you are telling. So inside the load balancer, again you can tell. I also worked on the backend pool creation. I also added and removed the backend nodes and also created the load balancer rules. Okay. I also worked on the load balancer troubleshooting. Okay. All those things you can tell. We will discuss that further. Okay. This is about the things actually. Any questions here so far before we go to the portal? Any question there, guys?
No,
Are you guys
no,
able to
sir.
hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 1 second. Let me log into the portal 1 second. to receive the code. Let me try resetting the password once second. Okay, so now if you look at, I just logged into the Azure portal. Okay, and see this ecom VM01 we have created last week, correct? Now if you look at the virtual machine status is deallocated. Why it is deallocated? We know that we are not using this virtual machine, correct? Now because during the weekend we were not using this virtual machine. If the virtual machine is up and running, so Microsoft will charge for us, correct? Na? So that is why we have shut down this virtual machine. If you look at, even though we are running this portal actually from the last 7-8 days, the price is only 13,943, means only around 1000 rupees got used. We still have around 14,000 rupees credit left out in our free trial subscription, correct? Na? So just to save the money for our entire class series, we are just shutting down. Okay, so now see this virtual machine. Let me start power on the virtual machine. Okay, so once you click on the start virtual machine, the start option is there. Okay, once you click on the start button in the Microsoft data center, Microsoft will allocate one physical hardware to you for this particular virtual machine. So the virtual hard disk, the computer hard disk is there now, that will get loaded to that hardware now. Okay, once the hardware operating system is loaded to the hardware, the computer hardware, okay, so then the virtual machine will be start running. You will be able to connect to that. Okay, so that is why it is called as tenanting system. When your computer is shut down or deallocated, that hardware will be released at the data center, and in that time maybe some other vendor or some other user will use some other virtual machine in that hardware, is tenanting that hardware. That is called as tenanting system. People will ask, what is tenanting system? Okay, you should know this one. Like, you have your tenants, you have a house, you have given it for tenant. Once the tenant is vacated the house, you will find another tenant, correct? Na? It will be like that. So let this get on. Ajay, what is the office again? Regarding ಅಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಅದು ಅರ್ಜೆಂಟಾ? ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡಲಾ? ಯಾ, so if you look at now, the virtual machine is, see, ecom VM01 virtual machine agent status is not ready, troubleshoot. I mean, this is agent issue, not a problem. You can just refresh it and you can see the status is, it is now running. Okay, if you want to connect, click on connect. So download the RDP file, this one, download the RDP file, and you see the RDP file downloaded. Double click and now you say connect. See, now you are able to connect. I'm using local administrator. Password is password@123, as you are aware. Okay, this is the password we have set last week when we built the virtual machine. Okay, so now you will be inside. See, you have logged into the virtual machine which is built in the Western Europe data center, correct? You are sitting in India at your home. Okay, and now you are connected to the virtual machine which is there in the Western Europe, correct? Right, that is the power of cloud. Okay, now if you look at the activity logs, just to show you one by one. See, now I have powered on the virtual machine. Here only 6 hours is there. This 6 hours you can make it last 1 month or last week. Okay, and you see all the logs now. See Manju underscore deallocate the virtual machine. Okay, everything is done by Manju only. And today if you look at, see, deallocate the virtual machine succeeded before 5 days. Okay, Thursday December 28th I have deallocated because that was the day last we had the class, correct? Na? And I don't want to run this virtual machine just to save the cost. and see who initiated manju underscore tg at the hotmail.com, who this person got initiated this deallocation. And today he's just started the virtual machine, see, 2 minutes before, on Tuesday January 2nd 8:40 to 52 gmt 5:30 ist timing manju initiated. So this is called as activity log. Okay, so now let me go to the overview blade, and you see here you have an option called capture. If you click on capture, if you see, I have created some data here. See, for example, see, this is my data is there. Okay, so once I restore this virtual machine, okay, I should have the data the same fashion. Okay, my computer should be like this only. Okay, if I want to see, okay, let me create some users also. Usr.msc. I'll create some local users. Local user manager.msc. If I go, I can create some users here. Okay, just to show you. Okay, user. If you go to users, see, nobody is there. I'll create one more user called Manju, local user. Okay, Manju. Okay, password is same, password@123, password@123. Okay, these three changes are two changes I'll show you. Okay, so this one should not be there. Should not change the password at next logon. Okay, apply and okay, fine. So now what I will do, I'll quickly go to this image ecom option, and I'll click on the capture option. If I click on the capture option, I told you it is giving you the VM create, so image creation wizard. Okay, so then it will ask you where you want to keep. You want to keep this subscription, free trial subscription? Yes, I have only one subscription, which is my free trial subscription. You have to select the subscription which you want, and inside that you can create you can use an existing resource group, or you want to create a new one. You can just click on this create, and you can create a different one, and you can select it there. Okay, so now I will just use these three are there. I will use this ecom because this virtual machine is from ecom only, so I want to keep this image also in the ecom rg only. Okay, or if you want to create separate, say for example, I'll show do one thing, 1 minute. If you go to this here, you go to resource group, see resource groups, and you can create new one. Okay, so resource group name is like rg-image. If you want to keep images only, okay, you can this is which one, Western Europe. Okay, so Western Europe, see Western Europe, select the data center Western Europe. Next everything is, I don't need this. Okay, tags are also not a problem. Okay, this is our lab environment. No, it's okay. See, now I have one more rg created, the resource group created, rg-images. You can select the same here if you want. Let me go back. So if you go to the basics here, let me refresh it once. See, rg images, this is the resource group I just created. You can select that and see it is coming already. The Western Europe region, it is coming already. And share images to Azure Compute Gallery, yes, means if you create this image, this will just go and sit in the Azure Compute Gallery. Okay, you can select from there. I'll show you that. Okay, so this is all fine. If you want to keep it in a dedicated thing, you can keep it there, otherwise it's okay. And it is telling you generalized and specialized. Okay, so generalized means VMs created from this image require host name, admin, user, and other VM related setup to be completed on first boot. Means it will get completely generalized. Means everything will be in the Microsoft standard. You need to change the name, you need to create the user account, you need to set it up for the first boot. Like when you build a virtual machine, it will be completely generalized. No, everything will be resetted in the generalized one. Means you can use that VM for any purposes, no problem. But specialized means, say for example, you have an application. Okay, that application name is app01, and when you take this image, when you restore the virtual machine, that computer will be created with the name called app01 only. So it will not allow you to give your own name. It will not allow you to create your own username, application name like that. Okay, that is the two difference. Okay, so normally we will see the VM created from this image are completely configured and do not require parameters such as host name, admin username. Means to take the backup only. So in my case, I will use this specialized only. Okay, and the version number you can just give 001, not a problem. 0.1, 0.1 now. Okay, and end of the life, if you want to automatically delete this one, you can just give some date, otherwise it's okay. Okay, is it zone redundant? I mean, if you want to keep it in the different zones, means now you are creating it in Western Europe. If you keep the zone redundant, you can use this image and create virtual machine any of the 54 Azure regions. Zone redundant means it is not specific to single zone. It is zone redundant means you can create the VMs using this image in any of the Azure regions. That is called as zone redundant. Okay, so keep it. Now always you should put it in the zone redundant only. Okay, so how many copies you wanted? One copy. Okay, where you want to keep? See, Eastern Europe, whatever. See, if you keep it 2 copies, see, 2 copies. Where you want to keep? One is in Western Europe, another one is Eastern Europe. Yes. If you want to keep 3 copies, okay, you can add also. Okay. So okay, better 2 copies only because the cost is differs. Okay. So now, if you say next tag, if you want to keep the tags, it's okay. Otherwise, you can just something is missing, validation, basics. In the basics something is missing. What is that missing? Okay, okay, I have to create the gallery names, image gallery, GAL01. Okay, fine. Now review and create. Still something is missing in the basics. Okay, image name I have to select now. This is ecom. 1 second. What is the image? Ecom VM01. Okay, ecom VM01. Okay, now it is good. Ecom. It came. This is fine. Ecom VM01. Let me create OK, and now it should be done. See, the running final validation. The validation is successful. Now if you click on create, it will create an image. See, stopping the virtual machine means when it is taking the VM image, right, it will stop the running virtual machine. It will take some time. It will take some time. Okay, so meantime this is completing. Okay, what we will do, I'll go to the virtual machine, the same virtual machine. This is ecom01. Okay, and I'll show you how to take the snapshots. So snapshots means it is a quicker backup solution, and that is only taken to the disk of the virtual machine. So you have to go to the virtual machine, scroll down. In the settings option, you see an option called disk. Go to the disk, and you will see all the disks available in that computer. Say for example, you want to take the backup or snapshot of the operating system, ecom VM01-OS disk. OS means operating system disk. Click on that. Once you click on that, on the top you see create a snapshot plus option. So click on the create a snapshot option. Okay, you keep it in the ecom, or you can keep it in the images only, no problem. Or you want to create it separate, not a problem. You can just copy this name. See here, the name is then here. Or what you can do, ecom hyphen VM. This is very important. You have to properly take the names, the naming, because here in the lab 1 or 2 things will be there, but in the real time you have 100, 200, 300 snapshots. 200, 300 images will be there. So the naming is very important. So OS disk, okay, 01 hyphen image or snap 01 snap. Today's date is 2nd 01 2024. Okay, like this you have to take. Okay, see ecom vm01, you will understand this is the ecom vm01 image. And what is the disk? This is the OS disk. And what is this? This snapshot has taken on 2nd January 2024. So you will know when which computer it is, which disk it is, and when the snapshot has been taken. Okay, so and rest everything is auto populated. You don't have to worry, and just say create. See, I'm just creating it. It is very faster. Snapshot is very faster. I'll show you swapping also. Okay. So the deployment is in progress. It will take at least some time. Let me go to the images. It has taken or not. Still it is yet to created. Okay. It is still going on, guys. If you see here, if I go to the resource group here, if I go to the resource group rg images, and you see an option called deployments here, click on the deployments. Okay, snapshot has been created, but that capturing is still going on. Okay, so once that is done, you will see that image here. So meantime, what we will do, I'll go to the virtual machine here. Okay, I'll go to the virtual machine here. Okay, so what I will do, I cannot do anything. I'll show you the resource health check. One option was there, that one I will show you meantime. So you have to go down, see resource health. In the automation below, you see this resource health option. If you go to this resource health option, you will understand what exactly the current status of the virtual machine. You see here, history. There are 3 health events are there. Click on that. 1 second. What is the stopping and deallocating? Customer initiated, means I initiated. Customer, for Microsoft we are the customer, na? So it is telling around 8:53 2022 GMT 5:30, customer has initiated the stopping of the virtual machine and started the virtual machine. Customer only initiated and I powered on the virtual machine, and like this it will tell you. Sometimes if any error is there, it will tell, okay, Microsoft is doing some activity at the data center level. You need to redeploy the virtual machine. So there is an option called redeploy. If you click on that, in the data center, Microsoft data center, the operating system will be moved from one hardware to another hardware. Say for example, there are 2 servers in the data center. One hardware is having some problem, and that is the reason you are unable to connect to the virtual machine. So Microsoft is telling, please redeploy. Redeploy means moving the virtual machine from one physical hardware to another different physical hardware in the data center. So Microsoft will give you an option called redeploy. If you click on the redeploy button at the data center, the VM image or the VM will be moving from server A to server B. That is called as redeployment. Okay. People may ask you what is redeployment that you see in the resource health blade. This is resource health blade. It is okay. All these options we call it as blades. In the cloud we call it as blades. Okay. This overview is a blade, activity is a blade, access control is a blade. Okay, everything is a blade here in the cloud. Okay, so images, I think it will take some time. Okay, I don't know why it is still not happening successfully. Okay, let me go to the virtual machine now. I will click on ecom. Let me capture. Okay, let me put it in the images option. Okay, I'll put it as no only. Wait. See, when you, there are 2 options. Share the images to Azure Compute Gallery. If you say yes, you can just create a folder and keep it. If you say no, and it is giving you other options. Automatically delete this virtual machine after creating the image. Okay, you create this one, delete. Zone resiliency want, yes. Okay, and the image name is this one. So automatically that it came. So what I will do, image created on first 0 second, 01 2024. I'll say in this tags, I don't need tags, I'll just go with this, and I'll create on the, click on the create option. Okay, so now you see it is a generalized option. The two things I told you, customize, specialize and generalize options. So this would be the generalized one. Okay, it will be getting created. So maybe that previously created one will be here. Okay, if you click on virtual machine, create virtual machine, create a virtual machine here. See, so now if you select the resource group as ecom only, and see deleting the virtual machine, it is capturing and deleting the virtual machine. See, deleting the virtual machine here, that is a different one. Okay, let me select here. The virtual machine name is VM02, region is Western Europe. Okay, and zone redundancy I don't need. Here images, here somewhere I will have that image. Sometimes it will come here also. Okay, so ecom, it is still creating, I guess. It will take some time. So normally image will take some time. Okay, clear the filters. Let me see if I can see that here. Or maybe not here. See, 8,000 images are there. So many different operating system, appliances, everything is there. So these are all up to date. You don't have to worry about the patching and all. If you just install it, it is up to date, up to the today's date. Okay, if you are installing it today, it is up to date today. If you are installing it tomorrow, till tomorrow, it will be up to date. So you don't have to worry about the vulnerabilities and all. Okay. So this image I'll show you. Okay, anyway, it is creating here. Okay, so it is not there. So if you see here, see, it got created now here. If you go to the images option here, this images option, if you don't see images, type here images, and see the images came here. Okay, and now you click on this virtual image, and you see here, using this image you can create a VM. See here. So before I go there, let me check if that virtual machine got deleted or not. That ecom VM01. See, ecom VM01 is not here. It got deleted. So now what I will do, I will create a virtual machine here. See, I'll go to this image. I'll create a virtual machine. See, and now RG images, VM name you can give ecom-VM01 only. Not a problem. Availability zone, I don't need it. No redundancy. And see now image, if you look at the image, it is not coming from the market store. See, it is see, these are all the marketplace images. Okay, but I am selecting the one which I created, ecom VM01 image, which is created on 2nd Jan 2024. Okay, so if you do that, you don't need to worry about the application configuration. Application will be up and running. But it was telling, you have to give the username and password. See, I am giving local administrator, password is PSSWRD@123. Okay, and I'm confirming the password @123. Okay, and you see the public inbound. If you want to allow some rules, public rules. Okay, and it is telling you RDP should be enabled, otherwise I will not be able to connect. I showed you last week. So disk option, if you want to have the disks. Okay, so I don't want to do anything. Let me go with the next option, networking. Also by default it will take, I don't have to worry about it. You can choose if you want to different VNet. Monitoring, I don't need. Review and just create. See, it is just validating. And now if you click on create virtual machine, now you are creating the virtual machine from the image that you created. Okay, once the computer is up and running, if you log in, you will see two things there. One is on the desktop, if you log in as a local user, you have two files, one test files, two test files are there. Another one is we have created a user called Manju, the local user, correct? Nah? You will see both. So why we do this imaging options? Now you know, if you want to safeguard the computer or the VM or the server, the entire server and the application configuration, everything, then you go with the images option. Okay, let us quickly check that. It is still building. See, it's still going on. Deployment is in progress. Still progressing, but let me go to this virtual machine and see. I'll go to the, okay, it got built here in the RG images, and if you see the deployments, you'll understand what exactly is happening there. See, it is still creating some image, that is fine. Okay, so let me go to the virtual machine freshly and try to see if I can log in there, connect, and download RDP file, double click on it. Once it is done, see, it is allowing me password @123. I told you the other day, the Azure is getting evolved. I mean, they are fine tuning their services every day. One or two changes you will see every day. Okay, so because AWS is there from 2006, right, and 2012 onwards Azure came. So 6 years gap is there. So they are very rapidly fine tuning their services. See, and you see Manju test file is there and Azure OS disk size is also there. Okay, so now if you go to local user manager.msc, you can see the user which I created, Manju. Okay, means we have safeguarded this application, correct? Now see, Manju is there, local admin is there. So this is how you can safeguard the application. Okay, now what I will do, I will delete these files. I will just delete these files, and I will delete the user also here which I created. I wanted to do some changes, and I have deleted this. And okay, see, this user is not there. Okay, now last 5 minutes. I don't have the file. I don't have the user account. Okay, which I created. But if you remember, I have taken the snapshots. When I taken the snapshot, before I delete the things, I have taken the snapshot. See here, ecom VM OS disk snapshot. So what I will do, I'll create the disk out of this snapshot. See here, option called create a disk. Click on the create a disk options, and you can just give ecom VM01 OS disk -n. This is new. Okay, I will just create it in the Western Europe only, and I will just say create it. Additional details from, okay, so I think some, okay, that is different. Let me create this one. This is initialized, submitted. It will be very faster. I told you, less than 2 minutes you can create a disk, or you can create the snapshot and restore it also. Okay, so now once this is the disk is created, the new disk, if you click on go to resource, it will take you to the disk options. Okay, if you go to the disks here, disk option here, go to disks, and you see there is ecom vm os disk vcom 01. Where is ecom disk? See here, ecom vm 01 disk 0 data disk. Okay, I don't know what was the image. Okay, I have not let me refresh it. See, it came now. See here, we, where is the OS disk? Maybe this is the OS disk only. Okay, because we have not renamed it properly, but we have taken it from the image. See, this is the newly create OS disk n. Okay, what I will do, I'll go to the virtual machine here. I'll go to the virtual machine ecom vm01, and I'll go to the disks option. Okay, so here you have an option called swap OS disk. Means it is asking you to swap the OS disk, correct? So what you have to do, you have to shut down this virtual machine. You have to go to the virtual machine, and here you have to stop the virtual machine, because since this virtual machine is running, you don't see the option called swapping. I mean, this is grayed out. What you have to do, you have to shut down this virtual machine, deallocate, stop. You have to stop the virtual machine. Once you stop the virtual machine, because it's a OS disk, right? When you are running the operating system, that you already see, we have already connected here, correct? So it will go off now, not a problem, and it will not allow you to swap. Once this is stopped, still it is telling you as, see, still it is showing as running only. So what you have to do, you have to refresh it. Still it is showing running only. Let me refresh. Yeah, let me go here if it will allow me or not. Okay, so disk option. See, now since we have initiated the deallocation, the stop status, now if you see the ecom vm001 vm, and it is asking you to swap. See, this swap option is now enabled. Swap OS disk. Click on swap option, and it will tell choose the disk where you want to choose. And you see all the disks are available here, and you can just type ecom you have to properly give the names at one time. Okay, see, ecom, it is there, I have selected. Choose the disk ecom v01, it is wrongly renamed, it should be vm01, not a problem. And if you want to swap the OS disk for this VM by entering the name of the ecom01, which VM you want to swap, it is asking. Okay, so I just have to copy this, put it here, and say okay. Now it is swapping the virtual machine. That's why. So what it will swap the disk now. It will stop the virtual machine. It will just verify whether the virtual machine up and running. If it is still going on, that is why it showed you as stopping the virtual machine. Okay, once the virtual machine is stopped, then the disk will be swapped. Then you log into the virtual machine, you see both the files as well as the user which I created. This is very faster way. Within less than 10 minutes you can do the activity here. So if I just refresh it, if I go to this virtual machine ecom VM, and if I go there to the disk option, you see the old one or the new one. Let me verify. It's still showing the old one only, because it's still running, that is why. Oh, I got it. Why it is since I have connected here, it is not shut down. Okay, let me log off. This is the problem, guys. Sorry. Now, if I go to this VM, running is there. Stop it. Now it will be. Since I logged into the virtual machine, I was not able to deallocate. Are you guys following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Another 5 minutes, we'll wrap up. Okay. So why it is? I don't know why it is. Sometimes I told since you are we are free trial subscriptions. No, Microsoft will tell you some very old devices only because it is practice purpose. So they will allocate some old data center, something like that, spot instances and all. So see it is. But if you shut down from here, it won't get released. This will not happen actually if you don't shut down from here. Okay, even if you shut down here from the portal, it will still show you as up and running only. So always the deallocation should happen at the portal level only. Okay, so I think some issues there. Okay, we will just continue these two things. I mean verifications things from tomorrow. It's almost 1.5 hours, 1 hour 20 minutes. Okay. Let me stop the recording then. Then we will do tomorrow the remaining things. Another 1 minute, please, guys. If this is not happening today, we will do it tomorrow. I mean, from here only we'll continue. Okay. No, it's not happening, guys. Tomorrow we will continue with the remaining things. Okay, from here only. Okay, let me stop the recording.